How are you guys doing today? Just look at the mountains. A little peace. At least the animals are calm right now. I don't know about the people though. So this is Martin. You probably know me on my series on how I talked to you about how I paid off my car loan in 19 months. The 36 months one is what I'm doing right now with my current 2014 Toyota Camry. But I paid off another one in about 17 months. That was a 2012 Camry that I got after I sold my Beamer. Well, got rid of my Beamer because the transmission went out and he wanted another $8,000. And that wasn't happening. Or you've been watching my series on how I talk to you about how to pay off like your small bills first. And then after you pay off your small bills, you can start paying off your bigger bills. Or you've been watching my series on how I got down to $5,970 on my card. That was the 2012 Camry. How I knocked off the payments in I believe like 4 to 6 months. I was paying like $800, almost $1,000 a month. Well, the reason I'm coming to you is like 16.8 million people have filed for unemployment benefits. And my focus, I want to only help the first 16.6 million because I know you guys will get your benefits a little bit quicker. It still might take 2 to 3 weeks, but before then, I want to see if I can't yes, I want to bring some of you guys on, just a private client, give you guys a big boost like a drug, just inject you, inoculate you against the virus of the people. The virus of the people and laziness and apathy you're going to see is nothing. That'll be the worst than any virus, C19, C20, bubonic plague that you'll ever see. The reason I know about this is because back in 1995, I got laid off from my job. And don't believe all the stuff. I thought I had just got a second job at Amazon. They sent me the whole thing about, oh, you've been hired. Then I got a call and an email. Whoa. We don't need you right now. Keep looking. So that's a third job. One job I thought I had felt in heaven. I was at a lead generator in the mall, make a little extra money on the weekend. Cuties coming by. I was like, oh God, high school, teenagers. I was like, this would be like in heaven. Women coming from like Nordstrom, cut. Thought I was gonna work as a bartender at the BNP tournament. I was like, sat across with this one good-looking girl, cut off shorts. We were talking a little. I was like, yes, man. Even getting good with like the lady who was like responsible for hiring the people. That was cut. Then just yesterday I applied. 2 days ago I applied for a job with Amazon. Went through all the stuff, went through all the recording, got like the letter saying, oh, you're hired. Then I just got a call today. Don't come. So that's how it goes during these times. So today, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the clauses. So right in front of me, I have from the stimulus bill, I have the section 4022 foreclosure moratorium and consumer right to request forbearance. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about forbearance because people think forbearance means you don't have to pay. Let me give you an example. I owed $93,417 on my student loan back in 2013, 2014. The reason why the loan was the same because I kept getting forbearances, making up reasons why I didn't have to pay. Well, what happened was I actually finally got a job and my finances, I wouldn't say they stabilized, but they stabilized enough for me to pay the $550 a month call. And then I got a call from the loan people to say, hey, we've been checking into your finances and it looks like everything's back on track. What's going on? So they were like, we're going to garnish your wages and take your taxes. And like they broke me down because I was already paying off a probate bill where I had to take my grandmother's house in a probate. And also during the 2008 recession, I had lost a couple of duplexes where I tried using my line of credit with Bank of America to float me until the tenants paid, but they never paid. And that was a disaster. So I was using my income tax and my check to pay my ongoing bills. And I had enough to pay the $550, but I didn't think I'd have to pay it that soon. But the she pressed, she's like, I will garnish your wages. And I believed her too, because they had a pretty good idea. Because I was also involved in some other stuff with my grandmother passing away, and she owed, it was $19,412. And I knew I had to pay that. So they had me dead to rights. So So since then, though, I want you guys to go back and look at my student loan videos. I had a student loan that was $93,711 back in 2014. As of today, it's down to $31,789. Now, do you think that's something you want to learn? How did I pay off that much? Just think, if I had $60,000 and you just pay off like a $10,000 bill in the next couple of months, would that be worth it? Go watch those videos, man. So, the reason I wanted to bring this forbearance thing up, because here it says it talks about how they want to give you it says like 180 days, I believe. It says blah 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 blah. Affirmative borrowership, and it says duration of parts. Okay, here it is. Upon a request by me, a borrower, or if I own a house. This one is for the people who own houses and they want to pay loans, and they say you can get it for 180 days. So let me just back up, because people don't understand what forbearance is. Forbearance just means you don't have to pay today, but you will have to pay tomorrow. So, for example, say if your house loan was $1,355, okay, and you say, okay, I'm having a bad time, can I get that payment not paid? Okay, Martin, that's fine, you don't have to pay this month. But now, it's like almost like one of those games, like a Atari game. Okay, well, that means next month you got to pay $2,710. Okay, that's good. Okay, okay. Well, you know what? I don't want to pay. Maybe the Trump money has come in. Maybe I think I can play games with the unemployment office. Maybe I want to draw my retirement. I just don't want to pay. That means you're going to go another month. So now you don't pay zero one month, zero another month. It comes to that third month. Now you're looking at about $4,015. That's to bring the loan current. That's the current one plus the 2-month one. Take it out to 6 months now. That's 6 times something. Oh God, I think that's like you're looking at $700,000, about $8,000 of just come. You have to come up with basically $8,000 to keep your house. How many people are going to actually do that? You tell me. No. So if you think you're going to get any type of forbearance, like I'm going to get a forbearance on my house and I'll pay it off later, sell the house, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Sell the house. It's not worth keeping a house. If you have any type of house, blow out the house. Because even if you owe taxes, property taxes, you're still going to have to pay the property taxes. I've been following the one in Orange County in San Bernardino. And like Newsom, don't get me started, man. I thought he would like give you guys some type of relief. Oh no, there's books on the local county said, well, we don't want any special legislations. Just let the people pay the property taxes. So that means you haven't been working for a couple of months and you still have to pay your property taxes. Does that make any sense to you? I mean, that's basically what they're saying. Even though you have no money, you're broke, we still want you to pay your property taxes. Now, what does that mean? That makes no sense to me. Or they're going to lose the house. So I would suggest what you do now, blow out the house, man. Get rid of it. I know some of you, I've been walking around some of these neighborhoods running. Some of you guys are living across from schools. Some of you guys are living across from schools. Some of you guys are living next door to a crack addict. Some of you guys you're living across from a field where you got a homeless person in a van staying there. Like you come outside during the day with your wife. Oh, we're doing better than him, honey. And your kids can't even walk up the street without getting kidnapped, drugs. There's a park next door where they're having sex and condoms. Or you're just tired of the loud neighbors, tired of the commute, sell the house. This would be a great time, especially you guys in the inner city. I see your neighborhoods. Your neighborhoods are trash. You got 4, 5, 6, 7 cars parked in front of your house. The neighbor's house next door making all kind of noise. Kids running around. I drove your neighborhoods. Barking dog. Why don't you just sell your house, get away from the barking dog? So what I'm saying, this duration of forbearance thing is going to be a disaster. Do not use it. Sell the house. If you think anything, just sit down. You don't need to be taking the unemployment money as it is. But if you do, just take it and just go to zero. Sell the house. Get rid of everything. The kids say, Mommy and Daddy, I don't want that. Get rid of the damn dog, too. You don't need a dog in an apartment. You don't need no dog. But a dog is hard enough to take care of in a house. Don't get me started. That's another one for another day about dogs and apartments. Get rid of the dog. I don't care. My grandfather in the old days took Fido for a ride. Some of them made it back. Only one made it back, man. He said, I'm going to keep that one. Other than that, ain't nobody else made it back. So if you need to, take Fido for a ride, give him away, sell him, give him to a friend. You don't need a dog right now. You can't even feed your damn self. If you're going to any type of unemployment, that means you don't need a house. You don't need a dog. Get yourself an apartment. So you can what you want to do is you want to consolidate your resources. So that's all I'm going to tell you about that. So on your own, go back and read section 4022 because it's talking about mostly federally backed loan. But in the end, everything's federally backed. Even if it's not the Fannie Mae stuff, it's like, what is it? That housing thing where you keep a PMI type thing. It has some federally thing attached to it. So if you really want to go for it and take it, the only reason you would use this if you're going to, I wouldn't do it. I don't know. If you think you're going to stay in your house and just blow out after, go 6 months in arrears and let them take it, you can play that game. But the problem with that, though, it will destroy your credit, especially if you don't make any attempts to pay any kind of money. That means you may have that extra money, but who's going to let you move in? You can either have a duplex, triplex, someone who's just desperate. And do you want to go to a place like that? Most of the time, you're going to end up in the hood. You may get a good house, though. I don't know. You may get a good family. Oh, he had a hard time, honey. The couples trying to convince themselves to let you move in. But you know you're you're a deadbeat, man. And maybe you change yourself around. Maybe you won't. But I wouldn't take that chance, man. If you're going to get rid of the house, sell the house now. Don't go for 6 months, go into foreclosure. Unless you're like me and you want to protest the local government making you pay your taxes when you don't have any money, but they shut down everything, which is really a government, local government, state government caused the recession, and they got the nerve to ask for the federal government to help them, and they have the nerve to still ask people to pay their property taxes. That's what I think is hilarious. So when are you going to start the government? Oh, we don't know. We're just going to keep pushing off and keeping it off. But we want you to pay your property taxes. Sell the house. That's what I'm trying to get you to know. Ain't nobody, if once you fall one or two, like I had a house, for example, I owed $1,455 on the house, and then I fell behind 1 month, tried to get out, fell behind the second month. It is a pain. It costs you money. It costs you energy, because sometimes even if they get the money, they still may push you they still may push for the sale. My grandmother's house, I tried to have my uncle and some friend paid $300 for the house. That house fell behind by 8 months. I had to scramble, because you're not only going to pay whatever, but they're going to also charge you the fee too. It's a mess, man. So what I'm trying to tell you is, do not do this forbearance thing. This forbearance thing it's like a death. You will lose the house. Once you fall behind 1 month in the house, get rid of it. If you're going to go that far, get rid of it, pay it, blow it out. Another one I want you guys to look at is Article 4024. That one's about the eviction. Well, that one is it's 4024, temporary moratorium on eviction filing. Well, this one is kind of hard because I'm not sure what this one is saying. I've read through it a couple of times, and it's talking about how once the person, you basically have 6 months. Here it is. It says 4024 is. It's coming. I'm working on it. It says that blah, 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 blah. Trying to get there, man. I'm trying. Multifamily borrow, COVID-19 list. Here it is. Temporary moratorium on eviction filing. The term covered dwelling means a dwelling. It's just saying you can't live in a tent, man. If you're living in a tent, they can get rid of you. And basically, anything's federally backed. Everything is mostly federally backed. Even some of those apartments, even like the one I live in, there's some type of federal money somewhere. Someone can fight you enough that let them go for it. You're better off trying to just buy a person off if you have this kind of situation. We'll talk about that later. I'll know a little bit about that because I had that. I've done it once. It saved me when I had to get someone out because of my grandmother's house, though. Here's a moratorium. During the 120-day period beginning on the date of enactment, which was March 13, 2017, The lessor of a dwelling may not make or cause to be made any filing with the court of jurisdiction to initiate a legal action to recover possession of the covered dwelling from the tenant for non-payment of rent or other fees or charges. Then all charges and fees are to be waived, and may not require the tenant, may not require the covered dwelling before the date that is 30 days after which the lessor provides the tenant with a notice to vacate. This is like if you can get someone like just cause to get rid of someone and they're just totally a wacko, you still got to wait 30 days. Or clause number 2, may not issue a notice to vacate under paragraph until the expiration date of the described section. And the section described, this basically expires, it says about, I think it's about December 31st, 2020. So take a look at that. So what he's saying, like you can almost technically, I think what he's trying to say, you basically can stay 6 months in a place without paying rent, but I don't said during a 100-day period beginning on this, so apparently 120 days from March 13th, which is almost to the end of the year or something like that. You almost can get away without paying your rent, but your credit will be destroyed. So I would not do that. I only do that if like you're like a total deadbeat and you plan on saving all that money and you're gonna buy your house somewhere in the ghetto next to a wacko guy who's gonna be sleeping with your girlfriend and your girl's gonna be pimped out and you're gonna be on drugs, or it's the opposite way around. That's actually the only place you're gonna get. Or you want to live in an apartment like a 385 East 160 place. You want to live in a projects with the gangsters. There's places like that, man. You think you're gonna do Section 8? That's the only reason I would just get a place. That's the only reason I would not pay rent. Give them something. If you're going to stay at least a month or two, pay them something. Just say, hey, I'm going to leave. Let me make some payments. Just don't take advantage of the system. So, because also what this is going to cause, this 120 day, this is going to cause a lot of problems in like rental property in neighborhoods where you already had the wacko neighbors who rented the place out to some wacko people, and now it's going to take you at least 6 months to get rid of the wackos. Think what that's going to do to your property value. Think what that's going to do to your neighborhood. That's why I say, now if you have to, sell that house, because just because of this clause alone. In an apartment complex, it's bad enough, because it depends how good they are. But if you have renting out a house to someone, just think if you're renting a house to someone and they don't want to leave, they start throwing this in your face, oh, disaster. So for some of you guys now who want more training, go write me a check, $30. I have give you my 3 best videos, give you my 3 best books I've read this week. We'll get a Zoom call or a call. You can send me one objection that's giving you the most problems. You make out that check to Martin Morris for $30. Send it to P.O. Box 540, San Bernardino, California 92402. Martin Morris, you make out that check. Mail it to P.O. Box 540, San Bernardino, California, 92402. You see that wall? I'm going to want all those walls, because I'm helping you 6.6 million people get back to work. I want these walls filled with $30 checks. Because you know what? Coming behind you is another 12.2 million people who filed for unemployment. So before they get active, before they start feeling their money's running out, this is the time for you to get back into the workforce, make some money, make some contacts. That's why I want to get you going. That's why I want you guys who want to invest in yourself. Martin Morris, P.O. Box 540, San Bernardino, California, 92402. You're saying, Martin, why do you want us to float a check? The reason you need to float a check when you're unemployment, 1, you want to avoid late fees. 2, you want to reserve a spot. 3, you want to light a fire under your butt where you're not using your credit card, but you're using cash. You save that credit card stuff to the very last minute. Remember, Mark Morris, P.O. Box 540, San Bernardino, California, 92402. Send me, I want to fill all these walls of checks. I want to help the first 6.6 million people who got their unemployment. I'm here for you. 1995, I was laid off. There was no internet, no computer. Let's get this done.